Now, we've gotten 2 so far. We still need a third attacker. So are we going to get a third attacker? That is what everyone is asking for. So this is the latest on that. Now, according to Ghana blog today, Arsenal's interest in the likes of Rodrygo and Eberechi Eze remains, but may not develop until later in the window and could potentially be offset by securing some sales. So he says we'll still be interested in getting Eze and Rodrygo, especially Eze. A lot of reports are saying we're definitely going to go for Eze. Now, ideally, we would have wanted these players, especially Eze, because I know the Rodrygo one is very difficult. I would have loved Eze to be there for preseason. But is it possible to get all the signings done, 7, 8 signings done before preseason? It's a lot of work, considering you're also trying to get players sold. You're also trying to get players new deals. It would have been ideal to get Eze right now. But listen, if they told us we'll still have Eze by August 1st or 2 weeks before the Premier League starts, I'll still be okay. I'll be like, okay, that is fine. It's still 2 weeks, still has time to train with the team, and he doesn't really have to adapt to the Premier League. Obviously, he's already a Premier League player. The only thing that he'll need to do is to get into the team and adapt to the team's tactics and everything. And he's already played with a few players in that team, so it's not going to take him a long time. But listen, I don't think it will take Eze too much time to adapt. Just get the ball and pass the ball, just get the ball and drive with the ball and all that. I'm sure he'll adapt as quickly as possible, Eze at Arsenal. But it's not looking like you're going to get him right now immediately, unless Arsenal's finances are looking very, very good. All of a sudden, it's looking like Liverpool had a lot of money. And if we actually do end up getting Eze as well, it looks like Arsenal also had a lot of money. So that is great that you're still going for this too. So let's break it down one by one. Let's start with Eze. So according to the Sun, now I do admit the Sun is not the best source from all of the ones that I'm reading, but they say that Mikel Arteta sees Eberechi Eze as the final piece in the jigsaw. However, Sunspot can reveal Arsenal face a major battle to sign the player in the shape of Bayern Munich. So apparently Bayern Munich also want Eze. They signed Olise obviously before, so you can say they have a good relationship with Crystal Palace. Although these days, I'm not too worried whenever we hear Man City want a player, Bayern Munich want a player. 4 years ago, we were like, yeah, Arsenal want a player, Bayern Munich also want him. Yeah, it's over. They're going to get the player. If Arsenal wanted a player and Man City wanted him as well, it was over. But these days, it's not like that. I think since the Declan Rice thing, it has changed. I remember Bayern Munich wanted Havertz. They also wanted David Raya, but we managed to get those players ahead of them. So it's not really a guarantee that, if Bayern Munich want to play and Arsenal want him, it's just going to go to Bayern Munich. It's different from Real Madrid, but even in Real Madrid, we've seen recently with Zubimendi, you had already agreed with him. He did not go to Madrid. He came to Arsenal. So why not? We need to start acting as a big team in terms of that. Let's not get worried when Liverpool want a player or Bayern Munich want a player. No, we can get the player even if Bayern Munich want him. That's how we should be approaching, especially now that we do have Andrea Bata as our sporting director. That helps the situation very, very much. Someone commented yesterday and said our best signing of the season is Andrea Bata, and I agree with that. The reason why I was very confident coming to this transfer point is because of him. That's why I was very, very confident, because of the experience that he has. Also from Ben Jacobs, he says Arsenal are set to approach Crystal Palace to discuss a deal for Eberechi Eze. TalkSport understands Arsenal plan to speak to Palace potentially as early as this week. So let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be done. We're going to start approaching them after we announce players like Gyokeres first, to understand whether a deal might be possible without triggering Eze's 68 million release clause. So once again, this is where we are going to be looking at Andrea Barton's negotiation skills. They don't want to pay 68 million. They might want to do it like the Zubimendi one, where we paid more so that you could pay it in installments. You could do the same with Eze. We might want to get rid of the 8 million add-ons on top and just pay the 60 million. We might want to pay the 60 million in 3-4 different installments. You might want to pay it maybe 40 million plus a player, because we were told that we could offer them Josh Nichols. Some fans have said offer them Vieira, offer them Zinchenko. That depends if they want those players. But yeah, let's see how Andrea Bata's negotiation skills are. Now, if Andrea Bata manages to also get Eze without paying that 68 million, then we might have the best sporting director in the world. If he's able to get Eze for not 68 million, but less than that, then we'll really know that he's absolutely incredible. I already know he's incredible for sure, because of how he's managed to get those Zubimendi deals done, and the Mosquera one as well, and the Gyokeres one as well. He's already a very, very good sporting director. So let's see how possible it is to get Eze. I'm still 60% confident you're going to get Eze. Eze. How soon? I don't know. It might not be this week. It might be next week. Gyokeres, I want him before preseason. Eze, I would have loved him before preseason, but if it's not possible, just have him there. At least this month, at the end of this month, if possible, still just a couple of weeks before the Premier League starts. That would be great as well. Now, we might have to make sales. That is the thing that we've been told we might have to make sales. So according to Sammy Mockbell, it is understood that in the next 12 months, there needs to be at least one significant outgoing to recover. That word is so hard to say, guys. I'm so sorry. Recalibrate. Why is it that you can say a word that has 20 letters, but this one is always a problem? It's crazy. Yeah, that word, you can read it. It always brings me problems after what has been a big summer for spending. So in the next 12 months, let's just use, we need to get that money back. That is easier, we need to get that money back in the next 12 months. Now we'll need to make a big sale. Now, who will the big sale be? Is it going to be Martinelli for 60, 70 million? Is it going to be him? Now, for sure, it's not going to be the likes of Trossard. You're not going to get big money for the players like Trossard. The only players at Arsenal that we can get big money for, and some of them are definitely not for sale, are Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Saka, Odegaard, maybe Raya. Those are like 7, 8 players that we can get a lot of money for. Now, Raya is not for sale. Saka is not for sale. Gabriel is not for sale. Odegaard is not for sale. Saliba is not for sale. But again, you never know. By the time we get to next year, they might want to sell. You just never know. It might be Odegaard being sold next year for 70 million. You just never know. It might be Mosquera as a replacement for Saliba, and you just don't know it. Maybe Saliba is the one who's going to be sold for 150 million next year. Now, I'm hoping you're not that desperate for money next year. I want us to keep these players. I don't want us to bring Gyokeres and then after a few months Saliba leaves. No, I want us to have these players together for 2-3 years. Let's try to achieve as much as possible. So yeah, I would not be trying to sell those particular players, but it's interesting to see who's going to be sold next year or in the next 12 months. It could be now. It could be now or January or the end of the season. So let's see who's going to be sold, because we have spent a lot of money, especially if we get Eze as well. That will be 55 million on Zubimendi, 60 plus on Gyokeres, and then on top of that, another 52 million on Madueke, and then another 68 million on Eze. That's a lot of money, so we'll need to get that money back. Let's not use that word. Forget about that one. Now, Martinelli and Trossard. Ghana blog says Mikel Arteta values both Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, but if a sale could unlock a deal for one of Arsenal's remaining targets, that could change things as yet. There are no significant developments on either leaving the club. So no significant developments yet. One of them might still end up leaving. Trossard has been linked to, Fenerbahce. I think Bayern Munich also mentioned. Martinelli as well has been mentioned by Bayern Munich, by Saudi Arabia. Both of them, one of them could end up leaving. Now, could it even be both of them if you go for another winger? I don't think so. Personally, for me, I started the transfer window by saying, let's keep both of them. Let's have enough players on the bench. But it's looking like we're going to sell one of them. Who? I have no idea who it's going to be. Many people would say sell Trossard, but if it's money we are looking for, Trossard is not going to get us as much money as Martinelli. But let's see how it goes. Trossard is right now, the last 2 years, is the better assister and finisher in the team. For Martinelli, who works very hard in the team, obviously, you'll never watch a game and say Martinelli is quiet. I don't think you'll ever do that. Martinelli is always coming back, defending, making those tackles, fighting for the ball, but obviously in the final third, he's not been great that the last 2 seasons with all the missed chances and the poor decisions and all that. It's not been great. So does he have an opportunity to improve? Of course. Martinelli is very, very young. Trossard is not as young as Martinelli. So there's that as well. That is from Ghana blog. He also says Martinelli is one of several names Bayern Munich are considering for their left wing role, but it has yet developed any further than that. I don't think it will happen, because Bayern Munich have already made an offer for Luis Diaz from Bayern Munich, and Luis Diaz wants to leave Liverpool, and the offer is more than 60 million from what I read. So I think eventually Bayern Munich are going to agree a fee with Liverpool to get Luis Diaz. So that will mean Martinelli is not going to Bayern Munich. Now, which other team can give us a lot of money for Bayern Munich apart from Saudi Arabia? There's no other team. So I have a feeling Martinelli will end up staying, Trossard will end up leaving, but let's see. Unless someone doesn't pay the money for Trossard, then we'll end up maybe selling or keeping Trossard because no one pays the money for him. Let's see how it goes. This is from Sammy Mokbel on Trossard. Arsenal are not ruling out a sale for Leandro Trossard, but it isn't thought they are in a rush to sell him. So yeah, we are not in a rush to sell him. We don't really need to sell him. We are looking to do our signings fast, and then if anyone comes with good money for him, then we can sell him. There's an acceptance at Arsenal that this current deal isn't a reflection of this importance, and they have looked to rectify that situation. So Martinelli's contract is not expiring right now. The thing with Trossard, we have to quickly decide. Either we give him a new contract right now, or we sell him in January, we sell him right now, or we lose him for free next year. And that is something that we don't want to do again. We've lost so many players on a free. Players like Alexis Sanchez and Ozil should never have left Arsenal on a free. Even Aaron Ramsey had just got big final goals for us, should never have left for free. We should have been getting 50 million for those players, but all of them ended up leaving for free. And recently as well, players like Aubameyang free, Lacazette free. We've done it so many times. So let's hope that we stop losing players on a free now that we have Andrea but